Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video in the Tomcat. Today we're going to be flying one of the pre-done missions by Heatblur for the Tomcat. This is the Bear Intercept mission. You can feel free to pause the video and read this description if you want, but the long and short of it is there is a Russian Tu-142 Bear, that's this plane right there, approaching from the west. It's our job to go intercept and escort it. Rules of engagement are to hold fire unless it opens its bomb bay doors and fires. If it has escorts, if they maneuver to fire on me or act hostile in any way, I have permission to shoot them down. That's pretty much the mission. So let's get into it. You do start in this mission on the deck hot. You will want to make sure that your flaps are all the way down first and foremost, and that you are all ready to go, which most of it should be done. This guy right here, he's the shooter. That hand signal means that he wants us to throttle up to 90% military power. Afterburner takeoff on the Tomcat was prohibited because, well, there was the same stability concerns I mentioned in the last video, as well as you could actually outrun the catapult and damage that system. But once we're throttled up, we're going to hit salute to the ground crew. They're going to kneel, the shooter's going to touch the deck, signal to fire, and the catapult is going to launch us. And we are in the air. Now, before we get too far in the air, we want to make sure that we put our gear up, retract our flaps. The max gear that the max speed that the flaps can handle is 225 knots, and the gear is 250. That is indicated on that there. We've not quite reached 200, so as long as those are both in, we are good to go. We're now going to change the HUD mode to cruise, engage the afterburners, and we're going to start climbing. The flight to the Bears is quite a long ways away. I can show you about how far away it is if I change the TI, or this display to be TI mode. Not sure if that's set to TID or ECM, but I flip that switch down, and then I get a copy of the radar here. I'm going to make my control stick disappear. We're quite slow here. Gosh, this beautiful bird can climb, though. Just absolutely forcing itself up in altitude. We're going to try to level out and perform a more reasonable climb at about 15 degrees. See that airspeed start climbing, but what I was going to say is that I'll show you just about how far away it is. Pull up the gesture menu, set the TID range to 400 nautical miles, and can't even see them on the radar yet. So we'll be flying for just a second. I am going to have him set the waypoint to waypoint 1, because that will take us all the way to our intercept point. Waypoint 1 is that dot with two horizontal lines, or diagonal lines. The number to the left of it is a 1. That indicates the altitude of a aircraft, or in this case, waypoint. 0 is ground level through 4,999 feet. 1 is 5,000 through 14,999 feet. And then if it's a 2, it's 15,000 through 24,999 feet. So that's how you can determine the approximate altitude area of a target if you've got them locked up, is that number to the left. But since we're up here, I'm going to turn off the afterburner and just start cruising. We've got a long way to go, so I'm just going to cut until we get closer to the targets. All right, so the bear just showed up on my radar. That's that dot with the bracket above it and the 2 next to it. The 2 means that it is, again, between 15,000 and 24,999 feet. We also just got a bra call out from the AWACS because he saw them as well. I'll get him to repeat that, and then for the uninitiated, I will explain what that means. So I'm going to ask for a bogey dope.
1-1, infield 1-1, request bogey dope.
He says bra 0934-170 at 18,000 hot. So BRA stands for bearing, range, altitude. Occasionally you'll get BRAA, which is bearing, range, altitude, aspect. So what that meant was it is at 93 degree, or yes, its heading is 93 degrees for range 170 in nautical miles, and then altitude 18,000 feet. Sometimes they'll say Angels 18,000, or I think it's Angels 18, and then you turn that into 18,000 feet. So I'm gonna get heading more at it. I'm gonna have the Jester change the radar range to 200, and we should see them just at the top of that bar now. Yep, they're still on the radar. And again, because they're 200 nautical miles away, we're going to be flying for just a minute. I am not burning the afterburner because I want to save some fuel to try to get back to the carrier and land, though, I mean, that's not really required. You can just scramble and do the mission and then quit the game, but I'm never going to get good at carrier landings if I don't try it, so I'm going to try to be a little conscious of my fuel and try to get back with enough. But again, because we're a little ways away, I'll cut again until we get once again closer.
1 o'clock.
Okay, so the bear is now within 50 nautical miles of our position. You can see down on that display. We get a little more information about it now that it has got closer. I believe we are in a track while scan mode, which is why we can now see its lead indicator, or its heading. We can see the bearing, which is 23 degrees, its altitude, which is 18,000, which I am significantly higher than, so we're going to throttle down and start descending so that we can get closer to it. A little more information we can glean is on the RWR. I see 2 different 23 signals, which is the MiG-23 Flogger, another variable sweep wing aircraft that I don't think is quite as pretty as the Tomcat. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but that is my opinion. But we're going to start dropping down and trying to get a little bit closer. I think they're now within 25 nautical miles, which they are, so I'm going to start preparing for if they have hostile intent. So I'm going to flip that switch up, start the missile prep and Sidewinder cool, and switch to air-to-air mode. And I think I can actually see them over there now with the improved spotting dots. Yeah, that's got to be them.
Fight's coming our way. Bandits, there, 12 o'clock, 15 miles.
Like he said, they're 15 miles away. If we get into combat, I don't know if I just don't know how to tell the Jester this well enough, but I have a hard time getting him to lock targets when we are especially close. So I'm going to be using PAL and... it's one of the buttons mapped to... It's the button mapped to my ring finger on my HOTAS. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Okay, so the bear is now within 50 nautical miles of our position. You can see down on that display, we get a little more information about it now that it has got closer. I believe we are in a track while scan mode, which is why we can now see its lead indicator, or its heading. We can see the bearing, which is 23 degrees, its altitude, which is 18,000, which I am significantly higher than, so we're going to throttle down and start descending so that we can get closer to it. A little more information we can glean is on the RWR. I see two different 23 signals, which is the MiG-23 Flogger, another variable sweep wing aircraft that I don't think is quite as pretty as the Tomcat. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but that is my opinion. But we're going to start dropping down and trying to get a little bit closer. I think they're now within 25 nautical miles, which they are, so I'm going to start preparing for if they have hostile intent. So I'm going to flip that switch up, start the missile prep and Sidewinder cool, and switch to air-to-air mode. And I think I can actually see them over there now with the improved spotting dots. Yeah, that's got to be them.
Fight's coming our way. Bandits, there, 12 o'clock, 15 miles.
Like he said, they're 15 miles away. If we get into combat, I don't know if I just don't know how to tell the Jester this well enough, but I have a hard time getting him to lock targets when we are especially close. So I'm going to be using PAL and... it's one of the buttons mapped to... It's the button mapped to my ring finger on my HOTAS. I can't remember exactly what it's called. PLM, pilot lock-on, and PAL, pilot automatic lock-on. So it's PLM, which is pilot lock-on mode, or PAL, which is pilot automatic lock-on. Pilot automatic lock-on mode will scan and lock on the nearest target within 15 nautical miles in front in its search pattern. That's probably what I'm going to have to use if we get to that
12
point.
o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. 12 o'clock low. Speed is 380.
Yes, Jester, I understand. They're to our nose.
You got this. Shoot him. Closing. On a 6. Keep it up. Closing. 430.
They are now
Right
breaking away.
Closing. 12 o'clock.
Blair's leads me to believe that he thinks we are a hostile target.
Closing.
I'm going to tell
12
my
o'clock. 12 o'clock.
wingman to engage bandits.
MiG-23. 10 o'clock high.
Where is this guy? I can't see him behind our
Flogger.
absolutely
5 o'clock high.
massive...
460 knots.
There he is.
And that's 400.
Oh, gosh, I didn't turn on the arm correctly.
350.
And splash bandit.
Flash. Flogger. 1 o'clock. 320. The bandit is going down. Roger. 6 o'clock low.
That better be the guy I shot down. 6 o'clock low. Backslash F7 F4.
Speed 280.
Request bogey dope.
Speed 230. MiG-23. 5 o'clock low. 200.
5 o'clock low, so it's still alive. It's 11 nautical miles away from me, too.
220
I'll
knots.
switch to a Sparrow.
MiG-23, 4 o'clock low.
There he is.
Okay, we got nails, 8 o'clock. Speed 270. Flogger, 11 o'clock low. Needles at 300.
Or no. That's my
MiG-23,
Tomcat.
11 o'clock. Closing, 370. We're at 420. Spike, 12 o'clock. MiG-23, 10 o'clock high. Closing. MiG-23, 6 o'clock. 460. Shit, they got one of ours. MiG-23, 6 o'clock. Tu-142, 12 o'clock high.
There is this Flogger.
410. Flogger, 11 o'clock low. Flogger, 12 o'clock low. Closing. Showing 450. Flogger, 5 o'clock low. Closing.
We passed
Mid
over top
fast
of him.
480. Flogger, 6 o'clock.
There's his flares. There he is.
430. 12 o'clock.
Back on him. Believe that's locked.
Flogger, 5 o'clock high.
High.
Speed is 480.
No, that is not.
Wilco, MiG-23, 6 o'clock.
Okay. How do I keep losing this guy?
Airspeed 420. MiG-23, 7 o'clock. Closing.
I'm gonna try to-
Speed is 380.
Turn back around on him.
Passing 290. Flogger, 4 o'clock low. Coming right. 260 knots. We're at 300. MiG-23, 12 o'clock high.
And we have successfully
200
reversed him.
knots. Flogger, 12 o'clock. Speed 220. And that's 290.
Come on, get him. What do you mean,
And
no?
that's 320.
Oh, that's not gonna get him.
Oh,
I knew that wouldn't be
360.
able to pull.
And
I am
that's 330.
not good at guns in this, if that's what it comes to. Where did he go? I've lost him. There he is.
Missile missed. MiG-23, 12 o'clock high. 5 o'clock low. Closing. 290 knots.
Ooh, I hit him. Those did not hit.
And that's 320.
Ooh, engine fire. He's going out. Yep,
Bandit is down.
perfect. Okay.
Roger. 6 o'clock.
PVR range
Roger that.
50 backslash F7 F4.
Overlord 1-1. Infield 1-1. Request bogey dope. Infield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Bra 065414 at 27,000.
065 for 14 at 27. There's the bear.
Unable.
Tell Jester to lock him up.
No can do.
Well, why not?
Unable.
How far away was he? Not far enough. Okay, we're going to use a Phoenix this time. Off the rails.
Target, 13 miles.
See if we can watch it coming down on it. I think its burner just turned off. The Maverick, or the Phoenixes do burn for a good minute, but not forever.
Looking good. Now take him out.
Okay, I can see his dot. Is it gonna hit him? I feel like it should have hit him by now. If I get to within 5 miles and he's not dead, guess I'll try a Sparrow. I'm not sure exactly how the AI works for this mission, because I did actually go check the mission itself. Oh, there it was. It did miss. Oh, come on. The Phoenixes are supposed to have an incredible range. I did check the mission, or check out this mission in the mission editor.
Looking good. We're on a 6. Closing.
And the ROE for the floggers was set to return fire, but I flew this mission a couple times, and just getting near them, I guess, is enough for them to want to shoot down my wingman. They didn't get me, but they'd always shoot down my wingman, so I was hoping this time if I told him to engage that he'd be able to get him. Clearly, I was incorrect because he still got shot down this time. So, let's let off a Phoenix. Get this bear out of the sky. And splash.
The bandit is going down. Roger.
Now we break the lock.
Roger.
I think. Yeah. And now, that should be it for this mission. I'm gonna go try to land. We'll see how that goes. Not well is how it went. I went around 3 or 4 times, and then, as I expected I was going to, I smacked into the very back of the carrier. If anybody would like to watch me fly around a carrier a little bit and just talk, I would much appreciate the support. But if not, thank you everybody for watching to this point, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have made our way back to the carrier group. While flying, I just noticed that the plane likes to pull to the right, probably because, well, I've got more ordnance on that side of the plane. So landing on the carrier is going to be difficult enough as it is, so I'm going to see if I can get the Jester to jettison all of that. Do I have... Oh. Of course I have the button. I knew that I had this button. I think if I hold that, everything drops off. Hopefully it doesn't land on anybody's head, but yes. That's now empty, so... Okay. again, the guide that I am using to lead my learning expedition of the Tomcat is Chuck's guide. So he's got a pretty specific pattern mentioned in that guide that you want to try to do when landing, so that's what I'm once again going to try to do. I fully expect to smack into the backside of the carrier or to overshoot, but I'm going to give it a shot nonetheless. So give me just a moment while I get lined up kind of onto the approach that I think I should be. So what I just did there was let them know that I am inbound. They're letting me know about the weather conditions. Case 1 means that there's very good visibility. Case 2 would be medium visibility. If you were in a case 3, you have basically no visibility on the carrier. So this is not right approach. That we are supposed to be on, but I think I'm going to try to do it from here. So I'm going to treat this in his landing guide as if I just finished the crosswind flight. I think I need to say, see you at 10. I think 10 means that I've got visual within 10 nautical miles. Switch those back out. I had set the wing sweep to manual, so I was saying I'm putting those back out. We're going to switch the HUD mode to landing. We're going to swing about. Oh, I'm actually quite slow. I am under 200 knots at the moment, which is good. I would rather be slow coming into the approach than fast, I think. But that being the case, we're going to put down the gear and the flaps a little preemptively, just so that I've got them down. We also need to put down our hook. So, fuel hook. Oh, anti-skid set to spoiler brake. Hook bypass. Carrier. I'm definitely high, so this is definitely going to be fast. They're probably going to tell me to go around. But we're actually not trying to land on it long way. The way that you land on the carrier is on this diagonal runway across the back. I think you can see it right there. And I think I've overshot it a bit. Oh, cow. In theory, you can use that E to guide your approach if you keep it lined up on the carrier. I am... I don't think I'm good enough to use that. Oh, why do you say I'm going so fast? They're almost certainly going to tell me to wave off because I don't think they've even got the meatball on for me. The meatball is a little light indicator that they use. Oh, yep. Ooh, did I smack anything? No, I did not smack anything. I was definitely about to smack into the back of the carrier, though. So now I can just turn around and try it again. I am surprised they didn't tell me to wave off. Do I need to talk to them again? F1?
010. Abort inbound, resuming mission.
Oh, that was abort in. Gosh darn it. F5, F1, F1.
Marshall 010. Marking maps 01740. Angels 0.5. State 3.8.
Okay.
010. See you at 10.
I need to throttle down again.
Tower 010. Overhead Angels 1. State 3.5.
Is my... speed brake out. Speed brake is out. Okay.
10. Tower, Roger. BRC 902. Signal is Charlie. 010.
Okay.
Update state switched out.
010. State 3.7.
Okay. Let's try this once more. The AOE indexer says that I was too slow. Now I'm right speed. Now I'm too fast. I don't see the meatball. I think I'm supposed to. Oh, F2 Tomcat balls.
010. Tomcat ball 3.6.
I'm lined up right, so I need to drift left a little bit. Power, okay. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay. Well, but that's what I needed to see. So they let you know if you're lined up left or right. They'll let you know if you're fast or slow. And then they'll tell you to wave off. I don't think I have
Heads up, nails. 6 o'clock.
ever in memory tried to do a carrier landing with the Tomcat. I think I've successfully landed the F-18 a couple times. They've never been very pretty landings. But I have landed an aircraft on a carrier before. You know what they say, third time's a charm, so let's hope that this time it works. Am I going to need to tell them Tomcat balls again? Probably. The reason they call it that little light indicator on the carrier, the meatball, is because the center light, which is yellow, kind of orangey, I guess looks kind of like a meatball, so that's the call out it was given. So F2 Tomcat balls.
010. Tomcat ball 3.4.
I'm definitely high for this, I think. I'm left again. Ooh, I'm lined up right. Yay! Oh, power. I'm gonna have to wave off. I dipped below the deck before I even got to the carrier. Okay. When you get lined up, what you're supposed to do is use only vertical movement on the stick, no lateral, so don't move the stick left or right, just up or down, and correct your course with the rudder, which, hold on a second, are my rudder pedals working? My rudder pedals aren't working. Why aren't they working? It sees them. Hold on a second, let me unplug and unplugged and replugged. Back to axis commands. There we go. Now it can see them. There, okay. Perfect, so. I think I'm going to try to give myself a longer approach this time. I know that it's supposed to be pretty short, but I think the longer approach will help me. So we'll lag our turn just a little bit. And then finish it here. I think that the speed we're supposed to be aiming for is 150 to 140, though the indexer keeps saying that I'm too hot, so backslash. I don't know what Clara means. But let's try this again. And I'm not taking my own advice. I'm using lateral stick movement. Aiming for the third arresting wire. No, 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 no. Gosh darn it. Well, I tried. Did not land. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.